Okay, so I came across this creator on TikTok, and she has some pretty interesting theories revolving around the First Lady and the President of the United States. And I think she is just absolutely hilarious. So I only saw a few of them and I wanted to react to them. So I pulled them up. Her name is AliWeissworld on TikTok. So go check her out if you haven't seen her already. She's very fucking funny. So let's get into it.
Melania Trump has reportedly come out and said that she supports abortion, and honestly, I'm not entirely surprised because I've always had a theory that Melania is Donald Trump's dom, and he is her sub, and she hates him. And he is obsessed with the fact that she hates him because he is a spoiled little brat who, for his entire life, has gotten.
Okay, sorry to interrupt, but she is well spot on with the fact that Melania Trump hates Donald. Like absolutely. We've seen so much evidence, so many clips, so many videos. Her swatting his hand, like refusing to like kiss him, and like other shit. Like, or one time, what was that one clip where she like he kissed her and then and like immediately she was like she hates that motherfucker. But
And he brat who for his entire life has gotten anything that he's ever wanted. And finally he encountered a beautiful woman who could not give an shit about him. And I think he got off on it. And that's why their relationship worked. They both got what they wanted. She got a child, endless riches, power, and he got her and a lifetime of abuse behind closed doors. And I've always wondered if one day she was going to step up and just ruin him. And then I heard about her coming out and supporting abortion, and I thought, maybe this is the beginning. Melania Trump has reportedly come out and said that.
Okay. So all right, let's go to the next one.
Melania Trump is Donald's dom and he's her sub. Here's proof. First and foremost, Melania's footwear. Those heels are 7 inches. Civilian women.
I said this the other day in I was reacting to her fucking stupid ass documentary trailer. um but I will applaud that woman for always wearing a fierce shoe no matter the occasion. Like she will walk across a field in a stiletto, a Christian Louboutin stiletto, which is I applaud. But horrible person.
Do not wear 7 inch heels in public, let alone walk well in them. At first glance, it looks like she's just adjusting his tie. But his face says that's more than a casual little adjustment, huh? Remember the diaper scandal? That's not incontinence, y'all. That's a destroyed pelvic floor. Did he need to wear that, or did she make him wear that? The world may never know.
Sorry. Okay.
Melania's $70,000 black crocodile Hermes Birkin bag.
That is that's a that is a bag. The crocodile Birkin, like I would never buy it. I don't really like to buy. Uh, I don't like to buy much animal product in the form of clothing, depending on what it is. I really don't still like to. But crocodile Birkin.
Bag held with a black glove. Enough said.
Look at the fucking comments too. Her slapping his hand away makes wait. Her slapping his hand away when he tries to hold hers makes perfect sense. They definitely have an arrangement of some sort. There's no denying that. My ex was in her protective detail. You're more or less on the money. Show me proof. Show me the money.
Melania Trump is Donald's dom and he's her sub. Here's proof. In one of the most iconic moves of all time, Melania asked CNN for $250,000 to come on TV and talk about her memoir. It's common knowledge that ethical newsrooms never pay public figures appearance fees, especially not ones that are in politics. But according to Trump's latest financial disclosure form, Miss Melania was paid almost $250,000 to appear at 3 separate Republican events. If her stupid little pay pig Donald is willing to pay that fee, why not CNN? In this Steele dossier from 2016, it was revealed that Trump paid ladies of the night in Moscow to pee on him. He then later announced at a rally that it wasn't good for me to go home that night.
I always forget about that. I mean, I don't. Like, I remember it clear as day. I just think I think there's like a wall that I kind of like put it behind. And until someone mentions it, and when someone mentions it, it's like the fall of the wall of Berlin. Like and you can see the dust has settled, and I can see it. And I'm tired. I'm tired of this timeline. Like, what the fuck? Whole country filled with guns and pedophiles? Like,
and explain it to the First Lady. How do you think his mistress reacted to him seeing other doms? My guess is that 7-inch So Kate Louboutin heel went all the way up his ass. We all thought the famous I really Seven-inch So Kate Louboutin heel went all the way up his ass. We all thought the famous I
I I love a I love a well-timed cut. Like, also what she said.
really don't care, do you, Jack? It was a middle finger to America, but I think it was to him. Melania Trump is Donald's dom and he's her sub. Here's more proof. We all remember how Melania refused to move to DC for the first year of Trump's presidency. I revealed to you in my previous
Oh, I forgot to say, the previous video, she was talking about how she got paid for appearing on the campaign trail and then asked for fucking $250,000 from CNN. She also got $28 million for her dumbass documentary that was filmed over 20 days. Documentaries are notoriously cheap because you just need some cameras and like a few crew people, and like depending on the subject of the documentary, you don't need much when you're just following somebody around for 20 days. $28 million. Directed by a alleged rapist, but her husband is one. So, but then Brett Ratner is who is directing. I don't know. He's the rapist, or alleged rapist. Rapist. So, rapist. Jesus Christ. Anyways, where is I going with this? Guys, tell me what I was gonna say. Brett Ratner. He was a alleged rapist. Jesus Christ, I've said that 84. Well, I'll keep on saying it. Alleged rapist. And and like I was reading an article today about the fucking thing about the fucking Melania's documentary, and I was like going through, and it said Brett Ratner, who was accused of, who was ran out of Hollywood in like 2018 following a sexual misconduct scandal or something like that. They professionally worded it. And then it said, then he moved to Israel. And I was like, what? Well, what is the pipeline from like Zionism to pedophilia and rape? They're gonna get mad at me for that. But you're the ones doing it. I don't know, girl. Like, ew.
Videos that Melania admitted that Trump can never tell her what to do, that she only makes personal appearances with him when he pays her $250,000 fee, and that they never ever sleep in the same room. So her refusing to move to DC makes sense because it would have messed up all of her very carefully constructed boundaries. But there was another reason Melania.
This was in 2024. That bitch still don't live in the White House. They tore down the East Wing. That's where she's supposed to work. It's gone. It's demolished. Like,
Melania didn't move. She had a boyfriend, and Trump knew about it. Hank Seamers is the head of security at Tiffany & Co., which
you're bald.
is next door to Trump Tower. Kind of impossible not to notice how
He got the jewelry hookup though. That was
sexy Hank is. Like, he's pretty much the complete opposite of Trump.
interesting choice of words to describe him. Girl, I mean, okay. I mean, I don't know. I feel like white men get like affirmative action of being like attractive when they're old. I don't get it. Maybe I'm just not attracted to white men. Certain ones, especially the ones with the blue eyes, that White Walkers. Anyways,
Love a man who's comfortable enough with his sexuality to enjoy a fruity bev. This information was leaked by Noel Kassler, who was the former
love a fruity bev.
showrunner on The Apprentice. Noel tweeted that when he was setting up pickups to take cast members to set, Melania would always be picked up from a location that was not a Trump Tower on Fifth Avenue. The novelist Monica Byrne also fired off a series of tweets confirming Melania's relationship with Hunky Hank. Now that I told you that, please remember that Melania gifted Michelle Obama a very large Tiffany & Co. box at Trump's inauguration in front of his face while wearing blue. It's giving cop. Melania Trump is Donald's dom and he's her sub. Here's more proof. We all blue. It's giving cop. Melania Trump is Donald's dom and he's her sub. Melania Trump is
I love this woman. She's also gorgeous.
Donald's, let's call it master. Here's more proof. In my previous videos, I pointed out Melania's choice in footwear, but we can actually learn about Donald and Melania's relationship by what she's wearing too. In 2016, Trump's now infamous grab them by the you-know-what tape was leaked by Access Hollywood. Melania then showed up to the October debate wearing a pink PUSSY bow blouse.
She did? I didn't even know that. That's what it's called.
That's literally what it's called. This was a genius play on words, a very loud declaration of proud femininity, and a very, very loud FU to her little pig Donald, who had stepped way out of line. He embarrassed her in public, so she embarrassed him right back. It gets better. In 2018, Melania appeared at the State of the Union, and this was her first public appearance since the world found out about Trump's affair with Stormy Daniels, which, by the way, went down just a few weeks after she gave birth to Barron. As you can see, Melania wore a white pantsuit. White has become the official color of the women's suffrage movement because it represents the purity and high-mindedness of the goal of female equality. And pantsuits became internationally associated with Hillary Clinton, who, as we know, was Trump's #1 arch nemesis. Another absolutely iconic public humiliation for those who knew where to look. When Melania is seen in public with Trump, she is getting paid an exorbitant $250,000 session fee to be there. But her quietly controversial choices in clothing are extra confirmation of who's wearing the pants. No pun intended. Melania Trump is Donald.
I will say she fucks up a fucking pantsuit. She looks great. She does. Ugh. Anyways, so off the point.
Melania Trump is Donald's, let's call it master. Here's more proof. As we all know by now, Trump called himself the father of IVF. At first, this just seemed like an unhinged, dementia-fueled comment, but hear me out. In the IVF process, eggs are retrieved from the woman and then fertilized with the man's you-know-what in a lab.
The
Well,
real
that
reason
didn't come
Trump was so
true. And I'm about to get mad. It's not her fault. She's just commenting on what he said, but as a politically minded person, been paying attention. Not the point right now. Next.
obsessed with winning the presidency was to keep his relationship with his financial master, Melania, going. Did you notice that Melania was absent from almost the entirety of Trump's campaign trail? It was because he could no longer afford her. By his own admission, Trump has amassed almost $100 million in legal fees. As I revealed in my previous videos, mommy Melania charges a fee to appear with Trump in public, or like anywhere. It is a whopping near $250,000 per appearance. She also built this genius escalator clause into her prenup from the get-go, which basically guarantees that the longer she stays with Trump, the more money she gets paid. Melania has renegotiated this
That's why she's still with him. But like I said, you already got the bag, girl. It's been long enough. They got married when, in like the 2000s? Like, girl, give it up.
Up multiple times in the past couple of years, most notably in 2018 when Trump was hemorrhaging money in the wake of the Stormy Daniels lawsuit and accusations of mismanaging campaign funds. She also adjusted it very recently leading up to the election. These are objectively the worst and least sensical times for mommy Melania to ask for more money. But that's exactly how their abusive little financial game works. When Trump becomes president, he can clear himself of all criminal charges. If he clears himself of criminal charges, he can clear himself of legal fees. And if he's cleared of
He didn't really even need to. The Supreme Court just like cucked themselves to him. I mean, and this is in 2024. Like, obviously, hindsight 2020. We know what happened, but also like his legal fees. He's made like over $1 billion since becoming president because he's so fucking corrupt. It's actually insane. The amount of fucking
Melania Trump is Donald's, let's call it master. Here's
where did she
the
go?
real is. And if he's cleared of legal fees, he can once again afford Melania. Need more proof? It's already been widely reported that Melania does not.
Before I fucked that up, I was gonna say something, but I don't remember. So I'm just gonna continue.
Not intend to live in DC during this presidential term. She's already being called a part-time first lady. And why? Because our girl Melly will not continue to participate in their DS dynamic unless all the criminal charges clear, all the legal fees disappear, and Trump can prove he's good for the money. Unless the cash is coming in, Dommy Mommy is not on the clock. The real reason Trump was so obsessed with winning the
Melania Trump is Donald's financial and emotional master.
Well, that is also, yeah, she is very correct in why. Well, her analysis kind of leads to a different point than mine would, but the meat of her argument is very correct in where she said the real reason that Donald Trump wanted to win the presidency is because he wanted to clear himself of the charges that he would have faced if he didn't. So that's very true. And he had a lot of legal fees, didn't have any money. He's not good at managing, well, look at the economy. Clearly, everybody knows he's not good at managing money.
Here's more proof of her humiliating him in public. At the 2016 Republican National Convention, Melly took the stage and delivered a speech that copied Michelle Obama's nearly word for word. It was such a scandal that even the chairman of the RNC made a public statement saying that the Trump
I forgot about that. Like, there's so much happens. Oh my god. They're all so incompetent that it's like sometimes you just gotta get lost in the fucking
should fire their speechwriter. Here's the thing. This screw up was so glaringly obvious that there's no way Melania didn't know about it. Trump was always obsessed with taking down the Obamas and spent years spreading a conspiracy theory that Barack was not born in the United States. What better way for mommy Melania to humiliate Donald than to
When I tell you, when I found out, when I like, I had all of the information from like the birther conspiracy like, theory, but I didn't, and I knew who Donald Trump was. Like I had all the information, but it was not tied together. I didn't have the knowledge that the two were very correlated. I did not know that. So when Donald Trump came on the scene and already had been on the scene for a little bit, I was like, who is this guy? Like politically, like who the fuck? You were the business guy in movies in the 90s and like TV shows. Like what is this? Like what is this? And I looked into it, I was like, that was him? Oh, brother. My God.
take the intellectual property of one of his mortal powerful female enemies and re-deliver it on the stage at one of the most important Republican events. On the topic of glaringly obvious screw-ups, remember Be Best, aka Mommy Melania's wildly grammatically inaccurate initiative to better the lives of American children? Melly is a lot of things, but a stupid woman is not one of them. And there were dozens of people around her who could have corrected this grammatical misstep and probably tried to. Mommy refused because she wanted to humiliate him. Still not convinced of her public humiliation tactics? Remember when she told sick children that her Christmas wish was to spend...
I mean, wasn't Be Best about not being a bully? Her husband is the biggest bully in the world. Okay.
the holidays alone on a deserted island? Enough said. Melania Trump is Donald's financial and emotional master. Here's more proof of her humiliating him in public. At the 2016
This is journalism. This is boots on the ground journalism. This is what we need in Trump's America. Thank you.
I don't know how many times I need to tell you that Melania Trump is Donald's financial and emotional master, but if you still need more proof, just look at this White House photo, baby. The change between her first term portrait to now is subtle but extremely telling. In 2017, Mommy Melania did confidently pose in a black suit, but she was photographed in color with her arms crossed and a faint smile. It was kind of giving over-caffeinated morning news anchor in a third-rate city. But in 2025, the photo's color, gone. Her smile, gone. Her stance, open, powerful, vaguely threatening. And look closely. In the background is the very phallic Washington Monument in all of its long, hard glory. But why this change? And why now? As I previously discussed in these videos,
This is analysis. Like, this is analysis. Like, we need these kind of minds giving us this type of analysis at all times. Like, where have you been all my life, AliWeissworld?
Melania has
I love women so much. Like,
publicly renegotiated her prenup at least 3 times, and each time has correlated with Donald being in major legal or financial trouble. Objectively, the worst and least sensible times to ask for more money, but that's all part of Mommy Melania and Lil Don Don's game. In 2023, Donnie announced his intention to run for president again while being slapped with his 4th indictment. Mommy Melania realized that her $250,000 session fee and precious Louboutin
all right, I'm just keep on getting pissed about Donald Trump. Like, I'm trying to focus on like the fact that this is funny, and it very much is. But then like Donald Trump is just such a chicken shit motherfucker. Jesus fuck. What pissed me off there? I'm mad, and I don't even know what for. Oh, his 4th. He was getting an indictment in 2023. He committed insurrection in 2020, the first month, the first 6 days of the fucking year. Took you 4 fucking, like, what what was the point of the Biden administration? I mean,
on Don's game.
In 2023, Donnie announced his intention to run for president again while being slapped with his fourth indictment. Mommy Melania realized that her $250,000 session fee and precious Louboutin collection were both in serious jeopardy. So, if you remember correctly, she completely disappeared from the campaign trail. At the exact same time it was reported that that prenup was being renegotiated yet again. Multiple sources have confirmed that Mommy Melania secured a fat trust fund for Barron. And poof! All of a sudden, we're seeing Mommy Melania everywhere, and with an operatic change in aesthetic. Coincidence? I think not. I don't know how many times I need to tell you that Melania Trump is Donald's. I don't know how many times I need to tell you that Mommy Melania has not been seen in public since January 24th. Do you know what else happened in January? Amazon successfully bid $40 million. Mommy Melania has not been seen in public since January 24th. Do you know what else happened in January? Amazon successfully bid $40 million to stream her documentary. Coincidence? I think not. After her appearances on New Year's Eve and in California, it looked like Melania's last prenup negotiation ensured that her little servant Don Don would be able to afford her for the next year or two. But something smelled fishy to me because Donald has $100 million of legal bills. Sure, Mommy Melania chose to wear a series of world domination.
who is that villain? Like, I always forget. Like, what the fuck?
Outfits in public, and her see you next Tuesday behavior was so obvious. But considering how expensive our favorite financial master is, something just didn't feel right. And of course, I always know. Multiple sources confirmed that Melania's last prenup negotiation secured a big fat trust fund for Barron, but there was never any mention of what was in it for her. If you remember correctly, Jeff Bezos stopped the Washington Post, which he owns, from endorsing Kamala. He also donated $1 million to Little Donnie's inauguration fund. Melania knew that Bezos was willing to do just about—
You bald ass bitch. What's wrong with you? Ugh. And Zuckerberg over there. And Lauren Sanchez. Enough with the filler. You're fine. You're good. You're done. No more.
anything to make her annoying little servant Donnie happy. And Mommy saw an opportunity. She figured out that if she played the loyal and loving wife on the campaign trail and slightly after, that Bezos would handsomely reward her. And he did. When I say Melania secured her bag, I'm not talking about a Birkin this time. That is a colossal amount of cash. Barron's mommy took care of her son, and then Donnie's dummy mommy took care of herself. Now she's back in bed with her hunky boyfriend Hank and a lot more financially independent. We should all be so lucky. Dummy mommy Melania has not been seen in public since— Do you know what I love about Trump winning?
Like, since when can you just like not do the job of the first lady? Like, she'll like show up. She'll like randomly show up for like a disaster or like a holiday, and it's like, where have you been?
This election, millions of people voted for him to bring back good old-fashioned family values, specifically traditional gender roles. Men need to be big, strong, masculine.
Gender roles, family values. So you want family values? You want to? Do you want somebody to bring back family values? And you chose a man with 5 children by 3 different women. On his 3rd marriage, has 28 different allegations of sexual assault. Entire Wikipedia page dedicated to it, actually. That's your king? That's your pick? Like, okay. I don't have. I had an affair with a porn star. With his wife was fucking pregnant in a home with a fucking baby. Grab him by the pussy. That man is gonna bring back the family values. Family values. Okay.
And providers again, and women need to cut it out with this feminist nonsense. Men belong on top in all ways, right? I have news for you. You elected a man who has suspiciously good oral skills, who likes to be spanked, urinated on, financially drained, and humiliated every single day by a wife who calls all the shots in their household. Now, this is all a-okay with me. I mean, I'm a liberal who believes in the gender and spectrum and that relationships and desires come in all different shapes and sizes. But for those of you who live by the word of God, or like Joe Rogan, I joyfully regret to inform you that your next president.
How do we get to Joe? I mean, call him out. Did you see that dumb fuck? I swear to God, I think he injected the steroids into his brain at this point. Like, he just is a giant steroid. Like, it just is like the dumbest motherfucker on the planet. I don't know what's wrong with him. I think maybe too much cigar smoke, or like too much. Does he do Does he do fighting and shit? CTE or something. There's something wrong with his brain, because he was over there talking about what's more virgin than a computer. Bitch, shut the fuck up. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, bitch? Like, what's more virgin than a computer? Like, bitch. And you need to pay attention to what fucking Joe Rogan be saying, because that motherfucker is friends with all those creepy ass dumb fuck billionaires that think they know better than everybody because they were able to fleece and exploit labor better than everybody else. Like, so what I have theorized is that those ugly motherfuckers that have no personality and wouldn't be able to win an election to save their lives, like Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, Sam Altman, those fucking weirdos. Zuckerberg is in there too, the fucking weirdo. But what I have figured out, having seen a lot of Joe Rogan clips over the fucking last couple, since Trump got elected, because you have to fucking pay attention to what the other side is saying, where this fucking shit is happening, like fucking hell. Anyways, I'm pretty sure the tech oligarch billionaires, fucking dumb fucks, they trot things out around Joe in private, and then he brings them up on his podcast, and they see how people react to them so that they don't get the backlash. Because, like, some of the things he's saying, I'm like, you didn't think that up. You're dumb, but you're also, well, you're dumb. So, like, I don't know. He doesn't, does Joe Rogan have original thoughts? Because let me know in the comments.
That your next president is not a chest-thumping example of American manliness. You elected a big, fat, diaper-wearing cuck. God bless America. Do you know what I love?
Well, yes.
Did you see what Dami Mommy Melania pulled at the governor's dinner? Firstly, let's take it back a sec. So, Melania earned an estimated $28 million for her Amazon documentary deal. This means she doesn't need to be on the clock for her insufferable little sub-tracked Donnie nearly as much anymore. But the prenup that secured Barron's trust fund states that she has to make a certain amount of public appearances still. So when she was forced to host the National Governor's Dinner, she decided to have some nasty fun. There there was a performance from the US Army Chorus who sang Do You Hear the People Sing from Les Mis. Les Mis is a super famous opera about standing up to tyranny. And this song in particular is performed at a part of the show where there's a civilian uprising to overthrow the government. A little sample of the lyrics here. Do you hear the people sing, singing a song of angry men? It is the music of the people who will not be slaves again. In his speech, Lil Don Don thanked Mommy Melania for working so hard on the event. And if she worked so hard on the event, she obviously knew about the song choice. I mean, why else would our infamous Ice Queen have been smiling this hard all night? Did you see what Mommy Melania pulled at the governor?
It was a crazy pick. Like, if this wasn't the intention, what was? I mean, Donald Trump is an old queen, like an old theater queen, and he loved Blair and Phantom of the Opera at the White House. Like, you old queen. But to do that when you're, it's such a crazy pick. Like, what's the craziest thing about this administration has been like, there's nobody around him to be like, no, Mr. President, no, we actually can't do that. Because like what? Like no. Like, do they think this is normal? Like, I'm just like,
have you noticed that Melania Trump only wears pantsuits in public now? Allow me to explain the reason for this atrocity. You'll have to excuse me sounding like an off-brand Fran Drescher. I am literally so sick. I previously explained how anytime Donald behaves badly, Mommy Melania publicly humiliates him through her clothing. Like in 2016, Access Hollywood leaked Johnny's Grab Them by the You-Know-What tape. Melly then showed up to the October debate wearing a pink PUSSY bow blouse. This was Melly in 2018, just after news of Stormy Daniels' affair with Lil Don Don went public. White is the color of the women's suffrage movement, and pantsuits had become internationally associated with Hillary Clinton, Lil Don Don's #1 rival. So what offense warranted this brown three-piece suit at Capitol Hill
I
on
can see. Ugh. Sorry, she's talking. Oh my God. Do you see what I see? Because I see a fucking blobfish looking motherfucker, chicken shit, Senator of Texas, Ted fucking Cruz. One of the worst things that Canada has ever produced.
So what offense warranted this brown three-piece suit at Capitol Hill on Monday? How about having to be First Lady again? Being First Lady was not a part of her master-servant contract with Lil Don Don. So it's absolutely no coincidence that we're only seeing Melly wear pantsuits during her very rare public appearances now. I mean, think of the official White House portrait. And the governor's
jeans. I saw it. What? Yeah, jeans. What was she wearing jeans in? Oh, it was the Texas floods. Well, but like, it's still not. It was. I've never seen that woman in jeans.
dinner. And now, Capitol Hill. And in case this wasn't obvious, Melania favors pantsuits in particular because they're the stark opposite of the tight, slinky, uber feminine clothes that Lil Don Don normally likes. Yes, mistress? Have you noticed?
That's Gavin Newsom. Look how she greets Gavin Newsom. I have to mute it because, oh my God, because it's music. Oh, Brigitte Macron. Don't tell Candace. Oh, that's Justin Trudeau.
Dommy Mommy Melania's behavior in Congress? Iconic. Lil Don Don received a standing ovation after his speech about immigration and closing the borders. Ew. But you already know which immigrant did not stand up. Dommy Mommy Melania, and in the most conspicuous way. Watch as this woman claps with a disapproving, uninterested face, kind of like a parent at her child's kindergarten holiday recital. And then, to make matters worse, her deplorable little servant called her out by name and asked her to stand up. I mean, clapping and standing? This was absolutely not a part of their arrangement. Look closely at this moment where he says her name. You can literally see her mouth go, shit. And the reason that I had to screen record that off X is because this exact same video that's circulating from the official White House YouTube page obviously cut that moment out. You saw? But I don't blame
you see that?
Obviously cut that moment out.
Like,
you saw
really?
This exact same video that's circulating from the official White House YouTube page obviously cut that moment out. You saw? But I don't blame the edit. Look at this video from the same night.
Blame it on the edit.
Of Dommy Mommy Melania staring directly into the cameras while forcibly removing her hand from Lil Don Don's. We know that when they got home, that Louboutin stiletto went straight up his ass. Dommy Mommy Melania's behavior in Congress? Iconic. Lil Don Don received a standing ovation after his...
She always looks like she's silently casting malevolent spells over him. No one hates Trump more than Melania.
First of all, what am I personally supposed to do about our deeply corrupted government, huh? DM Elon Musk memes until he pays attention to me? Run for president myself? It took me 10 years to graduate.
Well, I know she's joking, but that is how Elon got his last baby. The most recent one. Some random girl on Twitter, like, replying to him.
College. No one wants that. Secondly, public discourse is overrun with anger and fear and hatred and finger pointing right now. Like, I would argue that all of us are borderline too aware of what's happening in the world, and it's making us mentally ill. Why can't I be plugged in and informed and still have a sense of humor? Life isn't black and white like that. America is literally a Sims game that's being played by a teenage boy, and I choose to cope with it by laughing about it. So sue me. Except good luck, because my parents are lawyers. Lastly, our collective brain rot in 2025 means that we all process every important cultural moment through jokes and memes and internet lore. You clearly do as well, because you found me by scrolling TikTok. I'm really sick of people on their hypocritical high horses trying to tell content creators what to post, as if having any smidgen of a platform means that you have influence over the government. It's very simple. If you're not enjoying my Dommy Melania content, keep scrolling. Contrary to popular belief, not everything on the For You page is for you. First of all, what am
that? She did. But also, I will say that that is part of what I try to do with the content that I make, is try to make it a little bit more digestible, try to make it a little bit more funny, maybe crack a few jokes, because this content that I make is either infuriating, boring, or really only interesting to those who are politically minded. So I try to make jokes and make it a little bit more digestible, because who the fuck wants to listen to this shit day in and day out without, like, having some sense of humor? And I think that it is something we can all have a little bit more of. It's like, it's never going to fucking hurt you to laugh.
Melania Trump is the biggest savage on God's green earth. Alec Baldwin was speaking at an event in New York City recently, and he told the audience that Sean Spicer, aka the former press secretary, got drunk backstage at the Emmys and told everyone that Melania watches SNL every Saturday night. Considering how much Lil Don Don hates SNL, this is the dommiest thing that Dommy Mommy Melania could possibly do. And furthermore, Sean Spicer said that Melania tells everyone that Alec Baldwin's impression of Lil Don Don is spot on. Melania's quote, "That's what he's like. That's what he's like. Alec Baldwin, is exactly like Donald.
Wait, it gets better. Then Alec Baldwin tells the crowd she loves when they give it to him. You know what I mean?
Oh yes, Alec, we know exactly what you mean.
I have zero doubt in my mind that Dommy Mommy Melania forces Lil Don Don to watch SNL with her when he's bound, gagged, and locked in his cage during their Saturday night play sessions, which offers the real explanation as to why Lil Don Don hates SNL so much. It's not about looking bad in front of the world. It's about looking bad in front of his Dommy Mommy. Melania Trump is the
Melania Trump is bad if you're Donald Trump.
Donald's master and he's her servant. Here's more proof. Kellyanne Conway, the style icon and former White House senior
Whoa. I'm gonna look her up and show you what she looks like now. Does that look like the same woman? Okay, wait. Does that look like the same? Damn. Okay, anyways.
counselor told the House panel investigating the Capitol riot point blank that Lil Don Don is afraid of Dommy Mommy Melania. She said, and I quote, "He listens to many of us, but he reserves fear for one person, Melania." Backing up Kellyanne's statement is the writer Mary Jordan, who wrote about the DS relationship between Lil Don Don and Dommy Mommy Melania in her 2016 biography of Melly. Jordan writes that after some bad press broke about Lil Don Don, he waited 2 hours to go home to Dommy Mommy Melania because he was so afraid of what she would say. And what did Dommy Mommy Melania say? Nothing, because we all know silence is the most powerful weapon. Well, besides a stiletto in the bunghole. Okay, and then, get this. The golfer Sam Burns visited Lil Don Don at Mar-a-Lago to play around. He then admitted on a podcast that he was very scared to talk to Dommy Mommy Melania because she was, quote, legit and very intimidating. While he didn't specify what exactly about her was legitimate, I'm taking this as confirmation that the rumors are true. Melania Trump is Donald's. Did you see Melania's outfit at the White House Easter egg roll? Oh my God. First and foremost, let's address the Dom-ino in the room. This trench coat isn't really screaming spring as much as S&M. And look how comfortable that woman is with a whistle. We know it's not her first rodeo. For those of you who doubted my Dommy Mommy Melania theory, this whistle alone should shut you right up. Secondly, the brand of this jacket is Macage. Macage is a Canadian company. First ladies historically wear American designers at these kinds of highly publicized and photographed events. Was it a coincidence that Melly decided to shed light on a Canadian designer at this particular moment in history? Absolutely not. This outfit choice was major with a capital M, considering Melly's well-documented crush on Justin Trudeau, who is one of Lil Don Don's mortal enemies. But it's even more major in light of the Canadian tariffs and the trade war that Lil Don Don recently started. So no, this wasn't just an elegant, springy sartorial choice. This was a very deliberate public humiliation for her stupid little servant Donnie. I'm sure Jesus approved. Did you
Look at this comment. It's Canadian and from Quebec. Just it's Canadian and from Quebec, just like Justin Trudeau.
see Melania's outfit at the White House? Melania domed Donald so hard at Pope Francis's funeral. Okay, first of all, let's talk about Dommy Mommy Melania's outfit. Custom Dolce suit, veil. But Ali, I hear you say, all black is customary to wear at a funeral. Indeed it is. But 7-inch stilettos? And those lace gloves? Not something a civilian would wear. Even the media experts are catching on to my theory and saying that those heels are a special display of discipline and control. And what was she disciplining and controlling? Lil Don Don, of course, who conspicuously wore a blue suit. And not even a tasteful midnight blue, but a bright sapphire blue. The single most obnoxious thing that one could wear to the funeral of the most important figure in Catholicism. Look at this! It's especially suspicious when you remember how up in arms Lil Don Don was when President Zelensky showed up to their meeting in the Oval Office not wearing a suit. Because, he said, it was a sign of disrespect. So there's only one person who could convince Lil Don Don to publicly humiliate himself on this level. And when you look at this photo and realize that she had them in matching makeup, it becomes ever so clear that Dommy Mommy Melania was on the clock. Melania
Yeah, what is that
donned
about lately? Like, his makeup has gotten real, real bad. I guess that's what happens when you vilify the gays. They just like just don't have anybody to do your makeup.
Why is Melania so happy? This is a photo of Dami Mommy Melania and Lil Don Don on the red carpet at the Kennedy Center for a performance of Les Mis. It's
Hard watching this in the future, like, because you just renamed it a few days ago. God, I hate him. He's the worst. God, his makeup's terrible. Oh my God.
obvious that Dami Mommy Melania was on the clock, as evidenced by her all-black outfit and 5-inch Louboutin So Kates, which are always the signifier of it being playtime. By the way, Lil Don Don was even able to afford her $250,000 session fee because of his meme coin. Classic trick behavior. But even on the clock, Dami Mommy Melania is normally not smiling like that. Kind of like the opposite. So why is tonight different than all other nights? Well, these were taken on June 11th. A week prior, Elon Musk revealed to the world that Lil Don Don is in the Epstein files, which is why they have not been available to the public. He also assured us that if we wait a little longer, the truth will come out. On top of this scandal that could destroy her stupid little servant, Dami Mommy Melania is set to receive up to $40 million for her documentary. Production started in November, so if we do some light math, shooting is likely finished by now, especially because it's slated for release at the end of the year.
Oh, trust me, it's finished. Like, 20 days. 20 days. It was only 20 days.
And once that full payment arrives, Dami Mommy Melania will finally be free. Why is Melania so happy? Why is Melania choking on her tongue? Because of Lil Don Don's colossal flop of a $45 million birthday parade, my love. Lil Don Don threw a parade honoring the US Army's 250th anniversary and, more importantly, his own birthday. The grounds were so empty because it was totally overshadowed by the No Kings protests that were happening across America. The event was so unelectric that even Secretary of State Marco Rubio was caught on live television looking like he wanted to blow his brains out. Lil Don Don was visibly salty about the turn.
Listen, Marco Rubio's soul left his body about 2.5 business years ago, and it has never come back. And I don't think it's gonna come back. That motherfucker.
Out. So of course, Dami Mommy Melania was having the time of her life. Melly could not stop smiling. And when she wasn't smiling, Dami Mommy's face suggested that her stupid little servant was about to be severely punished, which he was. Okay, so here, Lil Don Don is asleep on the sidelines of his own birthday. And Dami Mommy Melania is staring at him, disgusted, making absolutely zero attempt to wake him up. And when he does wake up for a brief moment, she just smirks and sucks her teeth. Because what does the stupid little servant get on his birthday? Public humiliation. Why is Melania choking on her tongue? Because of Lil Don Don. Let's play a game called Is Melania on the Clock? We can tell when Dami Mommy Melania is hard at work as Lil Don Don's financial and emotional master based on what she's wearing. Let's start with an obvious one. Shoes, gloves, hat, hidden eyes, demonic smile. How anybody calls my videos conspiracy theories is beyond me. Later that day, still on the clock.
Wait, sorry.
Later that day.
He is terracotta. What the fuck? Like, what the fuck? That's a great dress. God, she's a bitch, but she does pick some great outfits sometimes, I have to say. Credit where credit is due.
Still on the clock. The choker, the rhymes with schmondage inspired dress. Inauguration was a big frickin' payday for Dami Mommy Melania. Not on the clock, not on the clock. Truly, madly, and deeply on the clock. Not on the clock. Hot, but not on the clock. The flats, hello. Do you need me to spell it out for you? Creepily civilian, not on the clock. I mean, on the clock. Suspiciously happy. If you need more proof, smoky eye alert. On the clock, heels, off the clock, wrong heels. Flats again, no. Heels again, yes. 4 no's, a resounding yes. The thumb, yes. Yes, no. You get the picture. Let's play a game called Is Melania on the Clock?
Did you see Melania on July 4th? Oh my god. This outfit is outrageous. That Tom Brown nurse ass dress paired with those red and white zebra print Manolos is giving candy striper. Hello, medical play. For all of you Gen Zers, a candy striper is a type of hospital volunteer. Notice any similarities with her shoes? And for all you vanilla civilian folk, medical play is a schmominatrix scenario involving medical scenes. If you remember correctly, Lil Don Don's big, beautiful bill passed on Thursday night.
That's his big piece of legislation, and look how unhappy that motherfucker is. What? Like, Republicans have everything they ever wanted, and they're still so unhappy. They have control of the presidency, the Senate, and the House, and they are still so unhappy. Like, they are still whiny little bitches. My God, like what else do you want? Like, I don't get it. Like, Jesus Christ.
Bill passed on Thursday night. This bill significantly cuts Medicaid and other wellness resources. Literally so grotesque. But that very same day, Dommy Mommy Melania was spotted visiting the Children's National Hospital in Washington, D.C. And very obviously off the clock. Polka dots? Those flats, hello? So, is wearing this saluty-ass nurse outfit and wearing it to one of the most important celebrations in American culture a coincidence? I think not. And here's a special treat, just in case you need more proof. That wasn't in her contract. Did you see Melania on July 4th? I am still not over this kiss. I already explained why Dommy Mommy Melania's nurse outfit on July 4th was so insane. Candy striper medical play, hello! But their very public display of master-servant playtime on that balcony was much crazier. As a little amuse-bouche, Dommy Mommy Melania tried not to throw up in her mouth as she watched the fighter jets. She also told Lil Don Don to take his hands off her immediately. Then, Melly blatantly made fun of Lil Don Don's YMCA dance behind his back. Watch her absolutely take the piss. She lives for his embarrassment. And then Lil Don Don got so turned on by all the public humiliation that he lost control of himself and pulled Dommy Mommy Melania in for a kiss. She very visibly tries to push him off, but eventually, after saying don't do it through clenched teeth, allows him to kiss her cheek and then her eyelid. Her eyelid. Uninformed civilians have been saying this is PDA, but let's call a spade a spade. This is not a smile. It's an imitation of Jack Nicholson in The Shining. I am still not over this kiss. Wow, there is a lot to unpack here. Dommy Mommy Melania got dragged to Texas by Lil Don Don to survey the damage from the floods, and her look was a little bit more shabby than usual. Dommy Mommy Melania wore Converse. Yes, this is a seemingly normal thing to wear to a disaster zone, except when you remember that this is the exact same woman who previously visited a hurricane site in 5-inch snakeskin Manolos. Melly is not civilian, so when she dresses like one, we know something fishy is going down. Next, the black ball cap. After the July 4th fiasco where Lil Don Don lost control of his Wiener Schnitzel and forced an eyelid kiss upon Dommy Mommy Melania in front of the entire world, she wasn't about to let that happen again. Remember the efficiency of this hat? Consider this the athleisure version. The real proof is in her clothing, though. Lil Don Don has repeatedly insisted that the women around him dress like women in dresses and heels. Melly's Texas outfit was dramatic.
Ugh, what kind of Roger Ailes ass comment? No. We're not. No. We won't be having any of that, actually. No.
Dramatically more masculine than her usual sartorial choices. Also, did you realize that this jacket bears a striking resemblance to this one? Dommy Mommy Melania knew that wearing such a tone-deaf piece to a migrant child detention center would make Lil Don Don and his administration look really bad. And while this jacket didn't have words, the message to her stupid little servant was exactly the same. Don't you ever pull a mother effing stunt like July 4th ever again. Wow, there is a lot to unpack. Did you realize that the World Cup happened on the 1-year anniversary of this moment? So the outfit Dommy Mommy Melania wore to the game was no coincidence. In Western culture, white is a symbol of cleanliness, holiness, purity, and rebirth. But Dommy Mommy Melania is Slovenian, and in some Slavic mythology, white symbolizes
In funeral traditions, it's customary to bury the deceased in white to symbolize their peaceful transition to the afterlife. Consider this 2019 statement from Lil Don Don about how Melly would react if he was wounded, which is to say, she wouldn't react at all. And this statement Melly made about the attempt to whack him, which focused on the change it would have made on her and Baron's finances, because last year, the crypto hadn't hit yet. With all that in mind, consider this very timely outfit choice. I mean, my vision isn't perfect, but this message seems pretty clear. Dami Mommy Melania may have hoped that this ended in a different way. Doesn't she look so thrilled to be there celebrating his survival?
Oh my god, his makeup is so bad.
Just saying. Did paging Agent Dami Mommy Melania remember this disheveled ass look from Melly's Texas visit? Did you realize that it bore a striking resemblance to this one? 3 days after Dami Mommy Melania wore a remixed version of Zelensky's olive green uniform, Lil Don Don unexpectedly started supporting UKRAINE by selling them defensive arms. Lil Don Don told the press about a conversation he had with Dami Mommy Melania, where he was all like, "Isn't Lil Poo Poo so wonderful? I'm addicted to calling him Lil Poo Poo." And Dami Mommy Melania was all like, no.
Oh really? He just bombed another city.
Dami Mommy Melania grew up in Slovenia, aka the former Yugoslavia, aka a place that really hates RUSSIA. So it's absolutely no surprise that in 2022, when the big R invaded the big U, Lil Don Don described Lil Poo Poo as savvy and genius, while Dami Mommy Melania called it heartbreaking and horrific. Ever since then, Lil Don Don's been sleeping in a big cage next to Dami Mommy Melania's bed with a small cage on his willy. Eventually, her powers of persuasion were so strong that he gave in. Even Republican congressmen are starting to catch on to how it works. Paging Agent Dami Mommy Melania. Have you noticed that Melania's outfits always correlate with Donald's bad behavior? In 2016, Access Hollywood leaked the now infamous Grab Them by the You-Know-What tape. Dami Mommy Melania then showed up to the October debate wearing a pink PUSSY bow blouse. Yes, that's what it's called. In 2018, news of Lil Don Don's affair with Stormy Daniels broke out. For her first public appearance after that, Melly wore a white Dior pantsuit to the State of the Union. White is the official color of the women's suffrage movement, and pantsuits had become internationally associated with Lil Don Don's #1 mortal enemy, Hillary Clinton. For the 2020 Republican National Convention, Dami Mommy Melania wore an olive green suit that bore a striking resemblance to Vlad Zelensky's uniform. You have to remember that even though RUSSIA officially invaded UKRAINE in 2022, the conflict was going on
Can
since
you not say Russia and Ukraine on fucking TikTok? TikTok will censor the weirdest words.
2014, and Lil Don Don loudly aligned himself with Lil Poo Poo since his first term in 2017. Dami Mommy Melania, on the other hand, did not. And then Dami Mommy Melania wore some straight up funeral garb to inauguration in 2025, mourning the fact that she had to be First Lady again. And let's not forget that iconic wide-brimmed hat to keep Lil Don Don from kissing her. I consider this day to be their official master-servant debut. Have you noticed that Melania's outfits always correlate? Melania is on her secret agent shit again. Dami Mommy Melania recently bullied Lil Don Don into distancing himself from Lil Poo Poo, despite years of the two being besties. She's also been matching her outfits to Zelensky's in an act of silent protest. The latest update is that Melly refused to go to the Peace Summit in Alaska because Lil Don Don's meme coin is crashing and he can't afford her session fees. However, she insisted that Lil Don Don hand deliver a letter that she wrote to Lil Poo Poo about protecting the innocent children getting caught up in the UKRAINE invasion. And of course, he dutifully served his master. A few days later, Zelensky came to the White House with a hot posse of other European leaders. Daddy Vladdy brought a return letter from his wife Olena and made sure to tell Lil Don Don in front of the press, "It's not for you. It's for your wife."
Why do I have a feeling that at the bottom of the letter was an invitation to a threesome? Anyway, the real action was in Melly's signature. It's a direct imitation of Lil Don Don's. Almost like she forged his signature on the protest letter to his bestie. If she signed, some sources suggest that Dami Mommy Melania used an auto pen, which is a device that copies signatures. Lil Don Don used to attack Biden for doing this, so it would be an absolutely iconic troll if true. We don't know for certain if the signature was a handwritten or machine automated mocking, but in either case, it was a brutal mocking. Melania is on her secret agent shit again. Mommy Melania's looks in the UK were insanely iconic. Firstly, Mommy Melania entered and exited the plane fully on the clock. Floor-length trench with a popped collar, sunglasses, knee-high black leather boots, and a very obvious refusal to hold Lil Don Don's hand in public. Then, Melly arrived at Windsor Castle with a hat the size of America.
Fuck that funky pussy bitch Camilla.
As debt. Septembers in England do not require that level of sun protection like it rains constantly. So the messaging was clear. Do not, under any circumstances, try to kiss or even look at
It definitely is giving handmaiden a bit as well.
your master. Addicted to the snap of her sitting next to her stupid little servant with her dagger of a stiletto on full display. Then, the state banquet. Mommy Melania got those shoulders out and those tatas up and showed off her gams with a slit up the leg. Because nothing keeps a servant on his toes like a reminder of what he cannot and will not ever.
What a fucking desecration to the, well, actually, America and England. Two peas in a pod of colonization. Yeah, never mind. But God, what a great representation of the moral rot that exists in those two countries. Damn. It's like the worst people you could offer. Like, Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Nightmare blunt rotation. Actually, yeah, nightmare blunt rotation. I was just thinking about smoking with Melania. I wonder how that would go. But seriously, nightmare blunt rotation.
However, Mommy Melania was not on the clock when spending time with Kate Middleton. She wore flats to the Scouts Association's event, held hands with multiple children, and put them on her lap. But of course, when she was spotted in the exact same outfit with Lil Don Don, the stilettos were back on, and that disgusted grimace. Mommy Melania was back on the clock. It's no surprise that Mommy Melania made Lil Don Don take over the White House Rose Garden restoration project. I mean, being First Lady is an unpaid job, so why the literal F would she show up for work? And
Because he ruined it so badly. He turned into a patio, a paved patio. It's literally like Pay Paradise put up a parking lot, bitch. Like, it's like, oh my God. And then he demolished the East Wing.
little servant decided to take this and pave it over with concrete, lawn chairs, and yellow umbrellas to resemble a patio at Mar-a-Lago. Grotesque, right? Except it wasn't his decision. When journalists asked Lil Don Don what his motivation was for destroying a cherished historic garden, he nervously fumbled through an answer about how wet grass was difficult for women to walk in. Grass, it just doesn't work. This has never once been reported as a problem throughout the duration of any other presidency. But this is also the first time we've had a domino as a first lady. When she's on the clock, Mommy Melania always wears her 6-inch Louboutin Socates for playtime. Most of these playtimes take place in and around the White House. So what are the chances that Mommy Melania threatened to stop wearing Lil Don Don's favorite footwear if he didn't make the conditions more optimal for her? I would wager extremely high. But Ali, I hear you say, this is the same woman who wears stilettos to hurricane sites. Duh, babe. It's not that Mommy Melania can't walk in the grass. It's just a public humiliation ritual to keep her stupid little foot-obsessed servant on his toes. No pun intended. It's no surprise that Mommy Melania made Lil Don.
Oh
Navy. Oh yeah, Navy. Yes. Oh yeah, Navy. Oh yeah, Navy. Yeah, Navy.
Booyah, Navy!
What in the literal steaming hot F-U-C-K was Dami Mommy Melania saying to the sailors? Okay, contrary to popular belief, Huya is not gibberish. It's an actual battle cry used by members of the US Navy to build morale. But what if I told you it wasn't the word she was saying? Hoi translates to D-I-C-K or C-O-C-K in multiple Slavic languages. It is one of the most offensive curse words, and it's mostly used to describe men who are stupid. All the proof you need is in how hard Mommy Melania is laughing. As we know, Dami Mommy Melania never, ever laughs when she's in the same vicinity as her servant Lil Don Don.
Booyah, Navy!
But if you're insistent on more proof that she was absolutely taking the piss, that oversized brown leather jacket, that ill-fitting trucker hat, those loafers, this posture? Absolutely not Mommy Melania's expected aesthetic when she's on the clock. And you know girlfriend was paid her $250,000 session fee to be there.
Booyah, Navy!
I'm just saying.
Yeah, Navy.
Booyah, Navy!
What in the literal steaming hot
Yeah, Navy. Yeah, the first comment. Yes, yes. As a Slavic girl, she is definitely saying yeah, Navy.
Dami Mommy Melania is at it again. The $200 million ballroom reconstruction has caused a total uproar. Lil Don Don and his team keep telling the press how the White House needs modernization, more space to hold the next insurrection, and so on and so forth. But in actuality, all this is because Lil Don Don can't afford Dami Mommy Melania. Melly has spent less than 14 days in the White House since Lil Don Don began his term, which makes sense because Lil Don Don's meme coin is failing and he can't afford her $250,000 session fee. Conveniently, the ballroom reconstruction temporarily relocates Mommy Melania's office. And please note, the 90,000 square foot project is slated to be done sometime before 2029, which means Dami Mommy Melania will not have an office for the rest of his term. Temporarily relocates? I don't think so, honey. And as an added bonus for Mommy Melania, she no longer needs to pretend to give an F-U-C-K about Christmas.
Who gives a fuck about Christmas? All man about Christmas. Who gives a fuck about Christmas?
Wake up, America! Dami Mommy Melania.
I like to be unique. I like to be different. I think the unique is very rare to find nowadays, and something you want to be inspiration for other people to think outside of the box. I don't like to repeat stuff. I don't like to, to follow the people. I prefer to lead than to follow. I like to be unique. I like to be different. I think.
Does Melania know that Lil Don Don likes to blow? Amongst all the recent Jeff Ep files was an email from 2018 in which Jeff's brother Mark asked him about the photos of Lil Don Don blowing Bubba. Mark Ep then wrote, "You and your boy Lil Don Don can make a remake of the movie Get Hard." Who the is Bubba? It just so happens to be the well-known nickname of Bill Clinton. However,
Also,
Mark Epps' PR girl quickly jumped in to say that the former president was not Bubba. This photo suggests otherwise, my love. Kind of makes you reconsider the meaning of this, no? But as the child of two lawyers,
also, just putting it out there, Bubba was the name of Ghislaine Maxwell's horse.
I will allow Bubba to remain innocent until proven guilty. And what about the blowing? This I know must be true for two reasons. The skills Lil Don Don displayed on this mic in Milwaukee, and of course, Dami Mommy Melania. Melly has told the press that she and Lil Don Don have clearly defined relationship roles and that he knows the consequences for breaking them. She forces him to sleep in unclothed and unsavory conditions. And most interestingly, that monogamy is not a part of their dynamic. Not to mention this recent speech about challenging convention. So what are the chances that she had something to do with Lil Don Don's penchant for blowing? I would wager extremely high. Or should I say, hard. Does Melania know?
Tommy Mommy Melania's Christmas decorations are a gothic masterpiece. At first, the minimalism and sparseness of this year's decorations sent shivers down my spine. Recession indicator, hello! But it turns out it's effing diabolical. I mean, what says holiday cheer like juxtaposing a series of simple, elegant trees with a bloody portrait of Lil Don Don. Then there's the green room. Oh look, another portrait of Lil Don Don. Wait, is it made of Legos? How cute and family friendly. Wait, the picture Mommy Melania chose looks like a mugshot. Kind of like the grainy pictures seen on wanted posters. And when we notice it's adorned with a Christmas wreath also made of Legos, this whole thing is a technological horror movie. The ominousness only intensifies at the display of trees and buildings made of dominoes. This strikes me as a literal manifestation of the dominoes falling. I mean, this right here is an actual, literal house of cards, people. Then there's the red room, full of lovely blue butterflies. But look closer. Buried in the butterflies are a bunch of ornaments with the words "Be Best" in the kind of handwriting reserved for a ransom note. But Ali, I hear you say, that's children's handwriting. Don't be rude. The ornaments were AI generated, babe. AI generated ransom note chicken scratch. And as the finishing touch, like the angel on top of a Christmas tree, is this shot of Dommy Mommy Melania strutting through her glamorous ruin in a pitch black cape and thigh-high 6-inch heels. Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. Dommy Mommy Melania read A Christmas Story to kids, and she chose violence. Literally. How does Santa go down the chimney? Proposes, shocker, a variety of ways that Santa could go down the chimney. And they're all, how do I put this? Hardcore. Sat on a red throne with
Does Santa twerk? Does he have the green goggles?
oiled up and crossed, feet adorned in red, snakeskin, 6-inch Louboutin socates. Melly purred her way through Santa's torture.
Does he cinch up his belt?
Does he choke himself?
Or stretch out like taffy?
Stretch himself out?
Does he go head first? Or feet first? Maybe Santa can turn into fire.
But here is the literal kicker.
Does Santa ever get stuck partway down and need one of the reindeer to give him a kick?
You know who?
That demonic laugh about kicking Santa down the chimney? Dommy Mommy Melania knew exactly what kind of message this would send, which is that she can't resist an opportunity to inflict pain on an old man. Dommy Mommy Melania read A Christmas Story to kids. Dommy Mommy Melania's documentary trailer is a demonic masterpiece. Melly executive produced her self-titled film, which means she had creative control over every single shot that you're about to see.
Here we go again.
The menacing music, the equally menacing smirk. When she says, "Here we go again," she seems thrilled. I literally dare you to tell me that those aren't horror movie sound effects.
Everyone wants to know. So here it is.
She says, "Everyone wants to know, so here it is." And then the shots she chose were her at a funeral and stomping in stilettos. And the Louboutin money shot, read between the lines, people. And then it all goes out with this wild bang.
Did you watch it?
I did not. Yeah, I will see it on the news.
One more time.
Did you watch it?
I did not. Yeah, I will see it on the news.
Selecting
I did not. Yeah, I will see it on the news. I would kill myself. Like, damn. Wow.
that exchange between the first couple as the climax of the trailer is a, how do we say, psychotic and absolutely delicious choice. And then boom, another shot of her with a knowing smile and the presidential portrait in front of the most phallic building in DC. The tagline for the doc is "Witness history in the making." But anyone with half a brain cell can see that making history is not referring to her second term as First Lady. It's having a domino and a submarine in the White House.
Dami Mommy Melania's documentary trailer is a demonic masterpiece.
I think that's everything. Honestly, like I said, this is journalism. This is boots on the ground journalism. This is the type of analysis that we need. This is what will get us through this fascist authoritarian regime. We need to fight in multiple different ways. We need to advocate, and we need to we need activism. Like, it's very important, and we need to be serious about these things. But also, if you don't take some time to laugh, you will go crazy. Just, you will. Like, the amount of shit that's going on, and it is partially by design in a fascist authoritarian playbook. You kind of have to, you a lot of people, a lot of leaders will flood the zone, and like the regime will flood the zone with so much stuff that you just feel so bogged down to the point where you feel like it's not worth engaging in. But you have to engage. You have to engage. You just have to find the things that you can laugh at in between the mess. And this was fucking funny, and she's very fucking funny. Shout out to AliWeissworld on TikTok. That was great. Have a good night, everybody. Keep your eyes open.